All right, the final New Year's Six game that we're going to talk about today, the episodes that we drop a little bit later on in this week is going to be the more in-depth playoff preview.
Yes.
Fiesta Bowl, New Year's Day, 1 p.m. East, noon Central, State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. We were there. Number 23, Liberty. Number 8, Oregon. Oregon favored by 17.5 points.
Yep.
Which is a lot. Bo Nix is going to play for Oregon. That is per Dan Lanning.
As is Bucky Irving. I believe Dan Lanning mentioned that the plan was for him to play in this game.
So we've got a number of names otherwise. Troy Franklin's and Tej Johnson's and Johnny Cornelius, Brandon Dorless, Jordan Birch. Like, there are a lot of key contributors on the Oregon side that could decide they don't want to play in this football game for a multitude of reasons. We have mentioned time and again that Liberty has played arguably the weakest schedule of any FBS team, which is hard to do. That's really hard to do. That does not say much for what will happen to them. It does not necessarily mean they can't compete with Oregon, but it means that we don't have a whole lot of overlap to look at here. If we're trying to construct that case in which Liberty takes Oregon to the gun or even takes Oregon to a 10-point game, it's really hard to build that case looking at the schedule of teams they played so far this season. So let me ask you, I know you studied this game. We both know what Liberty is about. Offensively, it's a lot of rushing. Mm-hmm. It is certainly, I think, better on defense than a lot of people care to admit. But that being said, Oregon has played many better teams this season. Is there a world in which Liberty does not get blown off the field by Oregon?
I can't see it, but previously on my Oregon predictions, I had them comfortably beating Washington. Now, Washington and Liberty, certainly different teams in the Pac-12 Championship Game. I think Oregon comfortably wins this game. I think the depth of players involved here, even without Troy Franklin, the fact that they have their coordinators, the fact that they have recruited the defensive line, especially, and I don't know what's going to be with Brandon Dorless. This would be his final game as an Oregon Duck if he plays. But I still think there's enough star power on both sides of the ball that you're going to see, even if it's a third string running back, get a bunch of carries, like if it's Jaden Lamar, whoever it is, you're going to see an Oregon team that is going to be able to take advantage of speed and talent on offense. Bo Nix is going to look to go out in a big way in his final college game, 84 games in.
Oh my God. Unbelievable.
That I see very little opportunity for Oregon to screw this one up, because I think they are locked into this one. If you're going to take Bo Nix returning as a sign, right? That, like, the guy with everything to lose wants to play out and go big. So it's probably a signal to the rest of the roster to focus. But I think you're going to see a lot of younger players playing for Oregon, and same situation with Georgia, that even though, like, the obvious narrative juice isn't there, especially against a program like Liberty, who hasn't played in a lot of big national games this year, Dan Lanning is not shy about utilizing the transfer portal. Obviously, it looks like they're bringing in a top 10 class when all is said and done, early and late stage signing period. So there's going to be a lot of competition for a lot of spots, and there will be more guys entering the portal as the writing gets written on the wall. That's English. I think Oregon probably wins this game, something like 42-17.
I like that. Yeah. Now, the only thing that I'm interested in to see is if Liberty can run the ball against Oregon. If Liberty can't run the ball against Oregon, this game's over. This game's toast. But if they can, I could see them keeping it within that number. Maybe on a garbage time touchdown, something of that ilk. I still wouldn't want to bet on that. Bowl season, I think, with betting points and the like, it's more about truly bet on the team that you think can win, and not on a team simply because you think they can keep it within the number. Bowl season's all about that because of all of this player movement, whether guys are opting out or going pro or transferring to a different team. You see that a lot, where a team could very easily be an 11-point dog and win the game outright by 11. So bet on the teams that you think can win. And I can't in good faith put my name behind Liberty here, because I don't think they can beat Oregon. I don't think they've got enough juice to knock off the Ducks.
No, I think there's a talent discrepancy. If Oregon is locked in, right? That's the difference. If Oregon is locked in, This is not UCF from a few years ago. This is not Boise State from 10, 15 years ago. This is not TCU's defense from 10, 15 years ago as a group of 5 team with NFL talent. It's not apples to apples in this case specifically. So Oregon big.